Here we are, guys, back, and it is day 31 of the bulk, and we're feeling electric, we're feeling good, and we're ready to get in the gym today and hit back. I love pool days, especially back-centric pool days. We're gonna go in there, we're gonna hit some thickness exercises, some width exercises, and I haven't decided if I will do 2 sessions or 1 session today. Would like to get it all done in 1 session, but big body part, 2 big body parts, plus the accessories with rear delt and the trapezius. Of course, I gotta give the biceps proper attention, but the back is the main course on the menu. So we'll see how it breaks down. Regardless, we're gonna go in there and hit some rows. We're gonna go up and weight on rows, hit them hard, intense, get after it, really get grizzly in there. Bring out my inner bear, because it is time for an animal to go in and hunt. And that's what we're gonna be doing in the gym. Gonna hit some rows, gonna hit some dumbbell rows, gonna hit some low cable rows, gonna hit some width exercises, go biceps, rear delt, traps, and that is the story for today's workout. And it's another pretty day in Houston. A little bit overcast, has been raining a little bit, but the good thing about the rain is that when it's raining, especially this time of year, it brings in some cooler weather, and that's something that we like to see because we can spend more time outside, get some better scenery when it comes to the cardio we're doing. Overall, just enjoy ourselves a little bit more because we can spend some time where we are genetically predisposed to enjoy spending our time, which is outside in nature. So that's all going well. The sauna last night, I actually went to the gym, the other 24-hour gym that I go to sometimes for the sauna. It was way hotter than the one here, so I think I'll probably just have to keep going to that one. But it was 175, approaching 180, and it took a lot out of me. I can't even lie. It was a good experience to get in there and get a hot sauna again. And that's going to be a daily occurrence, no matter if we do 1 or 2 sessions. Maybe we do the second session there, and then we hit sauna afterwards. We'll see how the tree shakes the leaves. But what's immediately on our plate is this workout that we're about to go in and hit back-wise. So I like the progress I've been making on my back throughout this bulk, and it's time to progress even further. We're officially a month in, no matter what month you're looking at, because this is day 31. So that's a month in, and we're gonna keep running it up. I've been thinking a little bit about how long the bulk is going to be, and it's at least gonna be 12 weeks, maybe 16 weeks. I don't know, but then I'll have a maintenance period, and then I'll approach a cut. I want to be, and this is a little bit of breaking news, but I want to be stage or contest ready by my birthday next year, which is May 31st. So I guess right now it's October. So you got about 7 months until that happens. The cut will probably be 3.5 months. So that is the rough timeline of events. Not that I'm gonna do a show then, but I wanna be ready to do a show. I wanna be going around looking like, wow, that is a champion bodybuilder. So that's the timeline, the future plans, it's pretty much a medium scale timeline of where I want to be. Glad you get that picture. Glad you've been able to see that. But we want to keep grinding on these videos. Let's keep doing a video a day. I'm going to step it up. I keep saying this. I want to be more productive. I'm just going to do it. So rest day tomorrow is supposed to be a rest day. If I do a rest day tomorrow, I'll get you on camera. Don't worry. We'll do a video. And maybe we'll talk about something else. Maybe I'll bring up a new topic. But I want to have something to talk about. That way I can give you some information, some wisdom, something you can take from the conversation. Not just sit here and listen to me ramble, which is fun and it's cool to do. And I'm glad you guys enjoy it. But I also want to provide some solid value for you that you can take back with you and apply in your own life. But if it's not for anything else, I hope that I'm inspiring you, giving you some motivation to go in the gym and crush it, because you see what I'm doing. I'm consistent. I have the discipline, and we get the work done to build our physique on a daily. There's not a day, whether I'm resting or in the gym, that I'm not building my physique, because as you guys know, if you do work out hard, resting is a vital part of actually growing mass, because that is when the protein synthesis is happening, and thus the nutrients are building the muscle tissue. When you're in the gym, you're tearing it down. When you're resting, you're building it back up. If you don't go to the gym, there's no need for anything to be built, so it all gets stored as fat. If you do go to the gym, when you rest, it needs to have time to recover and move those nutrients into the muscle and thus build the muscle. So during this bulk, every single day has been a step in the right direction, which is good. Even though there are some setbacks, there are some leaps forward, it's all a continuous movement towards my goal of being absolutely yoked. Absolutely yoked. And a menace, a savage. This is a channel for savages. This is a channel for people that want to be the best version of themselves and want to just go attack everything in life, but especially the gym. So that's the story. We're going to go in there. I'm ready to go. I got my drink here. About to mix it up, drink it. Honestly, my energy is high today. I got high energy today. Still going to take this and make it even higher. That way I can have the best session of the bulk. But without anything else, we'll see you in the gym. Okay, finally, after a little bit of a wait, we are here doing rows. So starting with barbell row, 135, a little warm up, and then we'll get into 245, do it for 4 sets. Just here we go, let's go. All right, here we go. Set number 1, 245. It's gonna be heavy, it's gonna be gnarly. We're gonna get in there and see what we got. So let's get it. All right, set 1 felt good. Set 1 always kind of gets you in the zone, gets you in the groove, gets you in that mode. And then you come back set 2, it's even better. So let's light it up. Here we go. Whew, that's 2. It's heavy, man. All right, the weight is heavy, but it is moving. So we're gonna stay here. We're gonna keep getting it, keep grinding, and keep moving heavy weight. So here we go, number 3. Sheesh. Get racked. That's 3. All right, we're gonna do 1 more set here. Last set, best set. Then I'm gonna do 1 down set with 185, just to feel it, just to get my lats warmed up for the rest of the workout. But these heavy ones, they put the size on you. So here we go. Set number 4. Here we go. Come on, bring it. Sheesh.
Enough of those. Last one, ugly. All right, last set here. Some feel reps, some fun reps. You know, technically, every rep counts, of course, make every rep count. But these are just like some bonus, just to get me a little more of a pump before we go into the dumbbell. Let's do it. All right, barbell rows, exhausted.
Okay, so I wanted to do something a little bit different today in the fact that, well, one, my mic was out, so I had no microphone during the workout, even though you see it on my shoulder here. The part that connects to my phone actually got obliterated because I dropped my phone in the workout. So wanted to do a little something different, give you a voiceover while I'm doing these workouts, kind of describe what's going through my mind when I'm hitting these lifts, what I'm thinking about, what I'm emphasizing, and the purpose of doing them the way that I do them. So what's going on now, you guys know I'm in a bulk, so I'm trying to move some heavier weight. And there's an old, I don't want to call it a fable, but a saying that goes, big weights, big muscles, little weights, little muscles. And I don't think it's completely true, but there is some truth to it. And when I say that, you know, not all the time my form is perfect. My form's not always perfect, but I am always connected to the muscle, and I am always feeling the tension. And what I'm doing is progressively overloading the weight, and so that I know that I am improving because the weight is going up and the tension is there. Now, I am thinking that I'm gonna implement some more feeler sets or lighter weight, stricter technique so I can really feel the muscle working. And if you've been paying close attention to my videos, a lot of times the last set I'll do that. And I think that's a smart thing to do, especially just to finish the muscle. A lot of times that's a good thing to stimulate the muscle at first on the front end in order to, you know, really lock in that mind-muscle connection, and also at the back end to tax the muscle as much as possible. But the meat of the sets, you want them to be heavy and taxing the muscle. You want the muscle to be under heavy load and being taxed as much as possible without injuring yourself. That's a bulk, okay? We're not cutting right now. We're not trying to preserve muscle mass. We're trying to build muscle mass. We're trying to get stronger. We're fed adequately, so we're not worried about injury. We're not worried about preservation of muscle and the fact that we're making sure we're hitting the muscle and getting everything out of it. We want to hit it to where the weight is being overloaded and we're feeling strong. We're getting stronger every workout. So with all that being said, these are one of my favorite exercises. They are dumbbell rows. I'm using 105 pounds here, so heavy weight. I went up from, you guys just saw the barbell rows. I went up from that, and that was a mass movement to put muscle on my back in a unilateral fashion because I just did barbell rows and it came in a bilateral fashion. So moving on, these are low cable rows, and I'm starting here with a lighter weight to pretty much iron the movement pattern in to my back, feel the muscle, get it to where I'm feeling the weight move, and now I go up. As you see here, this is a tremendous amount of weight. I think it's 220. Most weight I've ever done on this exercise, and yeah, it's a little nasty, but we're in a nasty part of the workout. You can see my shirt. I'm already through the gray shirt. The gray shirt's soaked. So we're getting in here, we're getting nasty. The reps aren't perfect, but the tension is there, and we are improving. We're getting better. The weight is going up. So now, next time that I do a back workout, I'm going to stay at the same weight. I'm not going to go up, but I'm going to do the weight better. And all this time, as I've been increasing, I started low, I started slow, and I was able to increase quickly with good form, but now I feel like I'm starting to slow down. So, I want to hit 2 workouts in a row where I'm hitting the same weight and just doing it a little bit better. But these definitely gassed me, felt good. You're working on the area around your rib cage. So if you see here, I have my shoulder blade, right under my shoulder blade, all the way about to pretty much like the top of my waist where, you know, my hips start to align. That's where I'm working in this exercise. I'm focused on that intently. None of the rest of my back wants to get hit. So that's that. Those were my core thickness workouts, movements, and that was the emphasis of this day. It was a pull day with thickness emphasis. I got that done and felt really good about it. It was a great workout, really improved myself. So then we move on to the transition exercise, which are cable pullovers, working the serratus, and I'm going a little bit quickly here because I wasn't sure how I was going to present the video, but these do the area, the finger muscles that are right by your pectoralis, and a little bit of the opening of the lat to get the width exercises primed and ready to go. So I'm focusing on flexing the finger muscles down and opening up the back so we can then move on to these pull downs. Now, I was gassed at this time, so the form is not going to be perfect if you're tired. That's just how it goes. But if you think about the goal of the workout, it's to tax and stimulate the muscles. So can I do that with less than perfect form? Of course. Is perfect form optimal? Of course. Are you going to be able to do as much weight with perfect form? Of course not. So you got to find the balance, and the only way that you're going to find it is going to come with experience. You have to get in the gym and do it. And once you've been disciplined and committed to the perfect form for a set period of time, you can begin to make concessions to where you will maximize your time under tension with less than perfect form because you're trading off. And it's in a different part of the workout. Next time I hit back, I'm going to hit width first. And even when I do the second type of pull day, I do biceps width, then thickness. On the first type of pull day, it's thickness with biceps. So next time I do a back emphasis pull day, I'm going to start here with the width exercises, and I'll keep the thickness exercises weight the same. So that was more for the wider part of the back, as you see right under the armpit. This one is more towards the middle and underneath the shoulder blade. So I'm pulling it, like I said, I'm tired right here, so my form is not perfect, which is fine. I'm getting after it. At the end of the day, as long as you are hitting the weight with intensity, you're going to improve whether your form is perfect or not. So this is for the area right under your scapula on both shoulders. If you do this exercise, you can really feel it. And, the last few reps, they're going to be tough. You're going to be using more CNS, central nervous system. You're going to be recruiting more muscles from other places other than the targeted muscle. But the point is, if you do the first 8 reps perfect, or not perfect, but good, the technique is decent, those muscles are going to be taxed. Let's recruit the other muscles and get the whole back going. And as you can see here, the muscles in my whole back are all working. You can see my rear delts being stretched and contracted. Even though I'm not consciously feeling that when I'm doing this set, really I'm focused on the area under my scapula, and that's the only place that I'm really feeling it. But as you can see, as we get moving, other muscles are recruited, and we're feeling good about it. So this is the last exercise, and at this time, I was gassed. I did heavy weight on the rows, the thickness, and when you increase the weight, the volume's just gonna come down because your body is under tremendous stress and load that it's really not used to doing. I'm not used to lifting this hard and heavy, especially coming out of the cut. It was high intensity, but the weight wasn't as intense. The volume was intense. I still attacked every set intensely, but I have more volume and less weight, less load. So I'm gassed here, but we did 1 set of each, and this is another width exercise, really trying to widen the back in the unilateral fashion. But next, we'll go back to the kitchen. Here we are, back, intermission, and we're back in the kitchen about to eat my post-workout meal. I am going to do 2 sessions today. I know I said I was going to try to get in 1 session, but we were just gassed. You'll see on the film that we were gassed, gave it our all. And one thing I wanted to touch on is the intensity is ever increasing. We keep upping the intensity. What's happening is it's damaging the amount of volume I'm able to do, especially in 1 single session. So we're always trying to balance, trying to find that happy medium for optimal growth. But I do think that pushing the intensity as high as we can and then trying to bring the volume along is the best course of action for muscle growth, particularly size, growing the size of the muscle. So that's what we're doing. I'm gonna eat this, go back. We got biceps still to do. We have traps and rear delts still to do. We'll hit the sauna as well. It's going to be an action-packed night. You'll see the whole thing, which is going to be incredible. It's about 5:54 now. I'm gonna try to be back in the gym maybe 8 o'clock. We'll see how everything shakes out. But another thing I want to touch on, the microphone situation. So try to use the old one because it was working a little bit, but just not having it. So the workout's not going to have any sound. I'm thinking maybe I'll do a voiceover and explain some of the lifts as I'm doing them to give something that's a little bit more fresh to my videos. I'll also probably put some music in. We'll see what I do. But I want to do, something because the mic wasn't working. So, got to do something about that. Did order a new one, should get here tomorrow. And tomorrow's a rest day, won't need the mic. But that's the story. You're around for all of it. I'm happy to be here with you. And we're going to eat this, slam it. It looks amazing. It's venison, it's rice, it's vegetables, it's ketchup, it's hot sauce, some olive oil when I'm cooking. And that's it. Good, clean ingredients. So we're going to eat this, and we'll see you when we see you. So we're back here in the gym, and one thing that's difficult when you're hitting 2 sessions is getting ramped up for the second session. You're usually tired. Your body enters a state of rest and recovery. And in order to get back into the anabolic state of pushing yourself in the gym, it takes a little bit of time. So you see here, I start with scoops, and the biceps are the secondary movement of the day. I always do the warm-up again, so I do 10 minutes on the treadmill before the second workout because I feel like it does get me warmed back up and back into that state where I can push my muscles. But as you see here, I'm working on the biceps, doing scoops, and what you want to emphasize in this workout or this exercise is you want to lean forward, you want to have your elbows just hanging, and think about scooping through the bicep. You want to scoop through the bicep. And obviously, when you get into the later part of the exercise, you're going to have a little rock, a little lean. But you really want to scoop through that bicep, and by doing so, the contraction is crazy. And what happens when you emphasize the contraction? The pump blows up. So as you see here, I'm already getting pumped. My biceps are looking good. Really happy with how I look here. And happy how I pushed through these sets. These sets were not the easiest, and of course I'm already extremely tired from the workout before, but now we move on to the next one. So now we're doing 45s, and we're doing alternate dumbbell curl. And one thing here, you're still focusing on the contraction, but it's specifically important to focus on the stretch and coming down from the workout. And you can swing a little bit. It's all about putting your muscles under tension and exercising, okay? Are you going in the gym and giving it all you got or not? Okay, you are. So you do a set with 12 reps 1 through 6, 1 through 8, 1 through as many as you can get through reliably. Do it with great, perfect form. The last ones, push that motherfucker. Don't be a little bitch. Don't be like, oh, I gotta do a perfect form. No, that's not gonna work for you. I'm sorry. If you want to change, you have to be extreme. It's just how you have to do it. I mean, if you want to change, that's the only way you do it. Honestly, how many people really ask yourself, you go in and you see in the gym and you've seen them there for 6 months and their body hasn't changed at all. And you look at them and they don't even really train that hard. Why do you think they haven't changed? It's because they haven't trained hard, okay? So as you see here, I wanted to get a little bit closer of the bicep. I'm looking at fantastic. And it's because I'm going hard, all right? See, these are good reps. They're slow, they're controlled. Every single rep I'm feeling, okay? Now, this is in 2 times speed, and that's what I do with my workout, so you guys aren't, bored watching me hit all these. Because, to be honest, most reps are perfect. Most of my reps are perfect in the fact that I'm feeling the squeeze and tension. But the ones at the end, crank the intensity up. Be a savage. Go in there and feel something, get some growl to you, to where you're in there and you're flexing up. You're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're like, let's fucking get this shit. You know, you feel like you can conquer the world. So that only comes from being intense and pushing yourself. And, you know, I guess when it's on 2 times speed, it looks like I'm swinging it. Well, it's also twice as fast as I'm actually doing it. So, you know, that's me on my soapbox. Whatever I'm doing is working. You can see it. I look good. You know, arms are popping, especially the biceps. And for the biceps, used to be one of my weaker muscle groups. You know, it's always been legs and biceps. So I put a true affinity or a liking towards working out my legs and my biceps, but especially my biceps. And who doesn't like good looking biceps? You know, no matter who you are, whether it's yourself or for the opposite gender, you know, girls love biceps. They call it curls for the girls for a reason. So you see me swinging here. We're working the brachialis, which is the secondary, you know, bicep muscle as it comes to aesthetics, which is actually underneath the peak. And if you get it stronger, it allows the peak to push through a little bit more. But what I'm doing here, and it's a benefit of being leaner. You know, if you can't see your arm vein, this isn't going to relate to you. But when I look in the mirror and I do anything with the brachialis, I'm thinking of that arm vein pulling the weight up. So it's like I'm Pinocchio or I'm you know, any kind of puppet, and that's the string pulling the weight up. So that's what I'm thinking about the whole time. That string's pulling the weight up, and by doing that, I tax the bicep. And my biceps are about done here. I got a good pump, and I'm back in the zone after taking some time off. But, you know, back in there popping. People are looking at me. I'm looking good. I'm looking at myself, and things are just going swimmingly. And I'm about done with biceps. You know, I'm getting nasty reps here at the end. But I'd rather overtax with nasty reps, as I've been saying, than undertax with perfect reps. But for the people that are sticklers and form police and science-based, you know, for lack of better terms, wussies, this is a set with lighter weight. I think I did 35 here, maybe 40s. And I was really focusing on the squeeze and just finishing the biceps. So I finished with a lighter set. And then it's into straight bar curls. Now these work a little bit more of the forearm, but it's also a brachialis builder. And also it just pumps me up. As you can tell, my entire front of, you know, my chest, my front delts, I'm getting a little bit red. It just pumps me up. This exercise is one that's great for the pump, and a big reason why I like to finish with it every time I do biceps, whether I do with biceps first or it's in a back emphasis pull day, I like to finish with this. And, you know, I like the fact that I've been doing my current split. It's kind of difficult in the fact that, you know, I'm spending a lot of time in the gym. A lot of the days I have to go twice to get everything in, but it keeps me disciplined. It burns calories for me, keeps me lean because I'm in the gym a lot, and it allows me to hit every muscle group more frequently than I would if I wasn't doing this split. So, you know, you take the pros with the cons, and I would love to get in there and get everything done in one session, and I probably could, but I don't like to cut corners. It's never been my style. It's never been a style that's going to get you the body that you want. And, you know, this is my main thing. So if it's my main thing, I'm going to go all out. If it's your main thing, go all out. So here I am finishing, and I did, I guess, 4 total bicep exercises. I did scoops, alternate dumbbell curls, hammer curls, and then these reverse curls. Adequately hit them and felt good about it. Now, this is a new exercise, so I've never shown this on the channel. Actually, I've never done this myself. But what I'm emphasizing here are the rear delts and the upper traps. So instead of sitting straight up like I usually do on a pull down and pulling down with my lats, I'm leaning back and I'm pulling with a wide grip, and the grip is, you know, neutral. I have the neutral handle grip on there, and I'm focusing on pinching my shoulder blades together, stretching out the rear delt and stretching the shoulder blades apart and coming back and squeezing. So this is a true rear delt and trap exercise. I want to ensure that I hit them hard because they are a very aesthetically pleasing part of the body, especially when you're wearing a shirt, whether that be a full body shirt like a t-shirt or a sweatshirt, or if you have a tank top on. This is where people that see you from behind focus. So I want to implement exercises, and you see I hit rear delts on the push day as well. I really hit this muscle quite a lot. The traps, not as much, but you get them some with some of the thickness exercises, although I, never emphasize them. But this is a good exercise as a combo of the rear delt and trap that I'm going to start implementing more often and suggest you do as well. So we'll play the rest of this out. Getting after it there. All right, so now we're on to a true trap exercise, and by far my favorite. Went up in weight. I believe I'm using 145 here. It's 115 with the 45-pound plate in the bar, and then I have 10 and 5 on as well, so that's 145. And I do 15 underhand, 15 overhand. Hits the muscle at a little bit different angle, and the high amount of reps really puts some tax on the trapezius. And as you can tell, I'm pretty developed back here. I'm looking pretty good. And even in the mirror, my physique is looking incredible. So happy with that and happy with the work that I'm putting in. So we completed this and then finished with a true rear delt, which probably my favorite rear delt because you can really increase the tension and focus solely on that area. When hitting the rear delt, it's all about the shoulder blades and the reach. You want to extend the shoulder blades and just really feel that area behind your shoulder, flex and stretch and finish off. This was the last exercise of the night. I knew I could go as hard as I wanted, but as you can imagine, by this time, I am gassed. I'm ready to eat. I'm ready to sleep. I'm ready to rest. I'm ready to recover. And it's just about time for that. So I appreciate you watching. As always, I hope you enjoyed this little voiceover. I have bonus content at the end, which is actually from the rest day I did yesterday. So, unfortunately I didn't get this video out yesterday. I wanted to do this voiceover, didn't have time to do it, but I did get a rest day video completed and I'm putting it in combination with this one. So you're about to see that next. It talks about goals, talks about where you are in life and where to get where you want to be and how to get where you want to be. Hope you enjoy that. But aside from that, enjoy this. I hit Chipotle up after this workout and then I'm on to the rest day and just a little talk for you. So I'm hitting a leg day today. I'm excited to put that out and we'll see you when we see you. What's going on, everybody? We're here. We're in the car. We're taking a little drive. It is a rest day. And I told you that we would get some content out of the day. So what better than to do so on a drive? So that's how my day's gone. I went to the store. I edited the video. I'm going to upload the video after the drive. So it's going to be a little late on the video. I got to do something a little bit different as well because the microphone broke and I want to give some commentary over some of the lifts that I'm doing so I can better describe them while they're happening and you can see them, and I'll describe why I'm doing them, a little bit about the muscles they work, and some additional tips that allow you to hit the exercise better so you can utilize the intended muscle. So that's the video from yesterday. You would have already seen that at this point. Now you're watching this one. So good to see you. It's Thursday. There's some football on tonight. The weather's nice. I think it's about 79, 80. It's heating back up a bit, but I think it's going to cool back down. I've got myself a pumpkin spice coffee, and it just feels like fall. It feels good. It's October, probably my favorite month of the year, and everything is looking gorgeous. But one thing I wanted to touch on and talk about here in this rest day on the Car Talks is goal setting and orienting yourself around the goals that you select. So just to kick it off, personally for me, my goal right now is to gain as much size as possible. And you don't particularly know what's going to go into achieving a goal. You have a little bit of a roadmap. You have an idea of what it's going to look like. and you have an initial plan, but it's important to be able to adjust with the goal always in mind, because the more you travel on the path, the more that you interpret and can analyze the progress that's happening, see where you're getting, see the new obstacles that are on the path, and then make adjustments to the plan in order to finally accomplish your goal and get where you want to go. So for me, it's putting on size. Originally, I was really strict with the diet. I was really, laser focused on keeping the diet strict. The reason for that was I didn't want to gain a lot of fat, and I wanted to keep the aesthetic influencer look throughout the bulk. But the thing is, you have to be willing to sacrifice in order to create the vision that you have for the accomplishment, or whatever you want to call when you finally have what you sought after. So I've loosened up my diet, but the one thing that I haven't loosened is my discipline to being in a surplus. And now that might sound a little maybe counterintuitive. It's like, yeah, if you can eat whatever you want, of course you'll be in a surplus. Yes, true. Still have to mix in good food to keep your health on track, but you have to remember the goal is to put on as much size as possible. It's not really to look, I want to look good. I always want to look good. I always want to look like a bodybuilder. I think that I'm still doing that, so I'm having a good mix and balance of everything. But you shouldn't sacrifice the size because you want to look good. And I've had that issue pretty much my entire life. I was always afraid to get big, whether it be in athletics and football or, in this bodybuilding journey. I was afraid to get big because I didn't want to get fat. I have like a fat phobia of not wanting to be fat or be perceived as fat. And I wanted to look good, look lean, look aesthetic, have people like how I look. And, one way that I've been able to circumnavigate the whole thing is to get really lean first. So if you get really, really lean first, like leaner than you've ever been by 2 times, then you won't really pick up that fat like you used to. It'll be distributed a little bit differently throughout your body, and you'll still keep an aesthetic look while you're pushing your food. So all that's to say, the goal is to get big, and I'm making adjustments on the path to ensure that that's happening. I'm finding out new things on the journey, approaching new obstacles and challenges, and finding new solutions. That's innovation, that's intuitiveness, and it's not easy for everybody. That's why a lot of people have to have a coach. A lot of people can't make those adjustments. They have to stay on a plan, which works, but it might not be the most optimal. And that's what I've been gifted with, is a sense of not only intuitiveness and vision, but the ability to adjust and the ability to think logically and come to a conclusion that might be different than what was originally interpreted. So how does this apply to your specific situation or your life? You need to analyze what goal you want. What do you want? That's number 1, okay? Figure out what do you want. Number 2, why do you want it? Which is equally as important as what you want, but you have to know what you want before you know why you want that. So you got to figure out what you want, figure out why you want it, because what that's going to do is drive you to make better decisions when it comes to these adjustments, as well as just everyday choices you make to get to your goal. So what you want, why you want it, and then you have to start. You have to just take massive action and start something that gets you closer to your goal, no matter what it is. And you have to do it consistently. You have to do it on a daily basis, and you have to do it over and over again until it becomes monotonous and autonomous. So now you're not thinking about what you're doing to inch you closer to your goals. That is automatic. What you're thinking about is what should you be adjusting to get you even closer, faster. If you can tie these all together, and it's not a simple and easy thing to do, especially when we have so much other, things going on in our lives. That's why the consistency and the move towards autonomy in the, whatever you're doing is important. You want it to be, automatic. You want it to be something that's just a part of your life, part of the routine. Just like waking up and brushing your teeth. Whatever you're moving towards, that should be like breathing air. Like, that's just something you got to do every day. Once you get these things all together, then you can start to optimize it by making different decisions and adjustments and getting yourself closer and closer and closer. That's the favorite. We love it when that happens. That's the favorite thing on this channel, is when the phone falls over on Car Talks. Love that. But anyways, to wrap this all up, what's your goal? Why do you want your goal? Be consistent and disciplined towards that goal with something. Take major, massive action towards that goal. And then once you do this nucleus of 3 things, you can begin to think about what you need to change to get even better. You can optimize. And what happens is it all ties together. So the more that you do those 3 things, even those 3 things separately, the more you want to do them together. The more you do the 3 things together, the more your mind starts to open up to what are the possibilities of making this even better, even more. Give me more. How do I get more? This is how you get more. Evolutionarily, it's how we evolved. It's how that we've survived to be where we are today, each and every one of us. It's our God-given ability of ingenuity. And a lot of times we just don't tap into it because we get into the monotony of our day-to-day tasks, and none of those tasks are moving us towards the ultimate goal that we want, or the direction that we're supposed to go in our destiny. So you have these 2 competing principles. You have destiny and free will. Destiny, fate, free will. But the true epiphany is these things don't compete. They actually work together simultaneously in order to form what you are. So an easy way to understand this is, let's say that you decided not to, visit your friends one night, go on a date with this person, post this picture, whatever you decide not to do. It was because you were destined to do something different at a later date. It was your future self saving you from that decision. Now, when you actually do something and commit massive action, which is free will, that is because you are supposed to be doing that to accomplish something in the future. So they're both working at the same time, and they're directly dependent on each other. It's actually a very beautiful principle. But anyways, that's Car Talks. I want to get more into, I'm extremely interested in philosophy. I think that is a genetic predisposition, follows my ancestry, and just my overall lineage is very philosophical. I believe I've came from philosophers past, so I want to get into more of that. But rest day is a good day to do so, especially when we're talking about tangible items like goals and things that you want to accomplish in this world. But that's the story. I'm gonna keep driving. I don't know if we'll do anything else on this video here. Maybe I give a nightcap, maybe I pose, maybe I give you guys some poses later on tonight. We'll see. But like I said, and really the pretext of this whole video, I'm a little bit fluffier than I'd like to be, but I also have gained a lot of muscle. So that's the give and take of posing. I don't want to pose if I feel like I'm fluffy. It's just not my favorite look, but it's a sacrifice I'm making to get where I ultimately want to be, which is in 7 months looking like an absolute Greek god, Michelangelo sculpture. Just amazing. So that's the story. Thank you for listening, and we will see you soon.